thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here. And to see a packed house like that, this is really great. A lot of energy out there. In most cases, I'm a happy camper. You know, and there's all reasons for it, of course. I mean, imagine you with the age of 20, Mr. Universe, and with the age of 21, you're going to America, and you're being brought to America. There I go to school, I go to college, and I work out 5 hours a day. And yes, I had to make some money, and I had to go and do bricklaying jobs and all that stuff. But that didn't bother me, because again, it was work, and I just get my hands dirty and get in there, and it was all good. So I mean, I had all reasons to really be happy, and then to eventually become the guy with the most bodybuilding titles. I mean, 13 world bodybuilding championships, then getting into movies. So I mean, why wouldn't I be happy? And then when I wanted to become governor of the great state of California, 2 months later I was governor of California. So of course I'm basically a happy camper because things went my way, but there were moments where you get up sometimes in the morning and it's just something off, where you're not happy, where you're unhappy, where you feel chemically there's something off. But this is why I always say to people, I said the important thing is that when you feel that, you should get right away on a bike and start getting exercising and do something physically, because eventually this will go away. Eventually we'll start looking more positive, because many times when I ride down the Gorge Gym with the bicycle, I see the world kind of black and white. But then after I work out at the gym and I ride back, I always have to see everything in color. So I think it has a tremendous impact. I think that people should know that we don't have to worry all the time and think about, oh my God, I feel unhappy. What does this mean? Why am I unhappy? Don't overthink it. Because a lot of times it's kind of a chemical thing. And a lot of times it's just because you haven't accomplished your goals yet. The people that have no goal, and the people that just take on a job for the sake of working, are not going to be always happy. That I can guarantee you, because when you look at the statistics alone in America, 78% of the people in America are unhappy with their job. I mean, think about that. So this is people, 78% of the people go to work every day and they're not happy with the work. So how can he be happy? So this is why I say it's important to figure out what is it that you want to do in life, what do you want to become, who do you want to become, not just what, but who you want to become, and then chase that, because then the chase itself, the climb itself, the struggle itself becomes fun.
Yeah. When a scandal hits or when something negative, how do you get back on top?
Well, the most important thing is when you fail,
yes,
you don't stay down, right? Because there's the people that are the winners and the people that are losers. The losers stay down. The winners always get up. And I've had my failures. I've had setbacks. If it is in bodybuilding, in weightlifting, in jobs, in movies, in everything. I mean, because there's a lot of victories that I've had, but also a lot of losses. And also in my personal life, I had that setback. And so I had to just kind of like with everything else, you learn from your mistakes. That's the important thing, that you analyze the situation and you're gonna try to repair the damage that you've caused, right? And so that's exactly what I did. And not to go out. Whenever I made a mistake, if it's in bodybuilding or in acting, choosing the wrong movie or whatever, or the wrong director, or in my personal life, I never ever blamed anyone else. The important thing is that if you screw up, you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, you fucked up. It's that simple. And now let's go to work and let's go and fix this. And so this is exactly what I did.
You really epitomise, I think, the American dream. I mean, you turned up in America in the 60s with nothing, and you got everything. I mean, you worked hard, you learned English, even without, am I right, even without bodybuilding and acting, you became a millionaire through real estate, is that right?
Yeah, my first million I made through real estate. And I just started buying apartment buildings with the little cash that I had, because I was, like I said, when I came to England, they paid me 50 pounds. I'm talking about now the 70s, of course, right? No, the 60s. They gave me, 50 pounds. So I took this money and I put it in my cowboy boots. So when I fly on a plane, no one can steal my money. And so I went around, and then the Reg Park invited me down to South Africa, and he paid me money for the exhibitions and all that stuff. And then I did seminars all over the world, and I kept saving the money. Then I was a bricklayer with Franco Colombo, and we were laying bricks, working 5-6 hours a day on that, and pouring cement and mixing cement, and running around with the wheelbarrow and all that stuff. So I was really good in saving money and not wasting money. As a matter of fact, I remember I didn't have a suit until I was I would say 23 or 24 years old. I mean, think about that. I just couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it because I was saving the money. And then I was about to buy a house when I saved enough money. And a little real estate woman by the name of Olga, she was like this tall, and she was from Lebanon. And she came to me, she says, "Arnold, you're crazy, don't buy a home. You have to pay for the mortgage." I says, "What else you want me to do?" He says, "Buy an apartment building. Buy a 6-unit apartment building. A little apartment building, and there's in front, they always have the owner's unit. And that's where you live. And then you're just one of the 6 people that pay into the mortgage that you pay every month to the bank, and your building is gonna go up, and then you're gonna sell it." That's exactly what happened. I bought the building for $240,000. This is, we're talking about the 70s, 1974, which now everything is like 10 times as much or 20 times as much. But in any case, I then sold it for $200,000 profit within 2 years. But I didn't take the money. We traded up. So I put it into the next investment, and I got a 12-unit apartment building. And then a 24-unit apartment building. Then a 40-unit apartment building. So I traded up like that. So by the time things was over, I remember that I had office buildings on Main Street there where I still had my office, and I had apartment buildings and everything like this. So I made my first million, I became a millionaire from real estate because I didn't want to rely on stupid movies. I didn't want to get into the movie business and wanted to go and have someone say to me, "We give you $50,000 if you play this bouncer." I don't want to play a bouncer. That was not my vision for my career. My vision for the career was to be a leading man. So therefore I was able to choose the parts that I wanted, not what they wanted me to do. And I climbed my way up, and it worked. It worked 100%, the whole thing. And so this is why I always say that when you want to become an actor, whatever you want to become, I mean, if you have to at the same time work, because you got to make a living, you got to pay the rent, you got to get the food and pay for the car and for the insurance and all of those things. So it's great to have a hobby like this and to have a kind of a vision to climb the ladder of being an actor or a leading man and stuff like that. But the reality of it is you got to work your ass off, and you got to go and work at the same time while you're following that dream.